Formula One is now experiencing one of its most competitive seasons in some years. During the first half of the season, Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton and Red Bull's Max Verstappen swapped the championship lead at various points. With a maximum of 12 races remaining, the two are separated by only 8 points. Hello everyone, and welcome back to F1 Nation. In today's video, we'll talk about why Sebastian Vettel wants Max Verstappen to win the 2021 championship. So make sure to stay till the end of the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell to keep up to date with all our videos. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. The fact that Vettel's results at Aston Martin are now underwhelming does not mean the four-time world champion has given up hope. Of course, we aren't where we want to be right now, Vettel told motorsporttotal.com, but we are taking small steps in the right direction. At the end of the day, everyone wants to win races and win championships. Michael Schumacher is a hero to many in Formula One, and Sebastian Vettel is no exception. He was more of a buddy to Sebastian than an opponent on the grid because the latter grew up idolizing him. As Schumacher was a mentor to young Vettel, the two got along pretty smoothly. As a result, the four-time world champion holds high regard for his compatriot. But as the Max Verstappen-Lewis Hamilton rivalry heats up, Vettel backs the Red Bull sensation to win the championship. He doesn't want anyone to break Schumacher's record of 7 world titles, but if he does, he'll still hold Hamilton in high respect. If Max Verstappen wants to win, he must learn from Sebastian Vettel's failed attempt to dethrone Lewis Hamilton in 2017. Since Vettel did it in both 2017 and 2018, the Dutchman is genuinely the first to challenge Hamilton throughout a season. The German's title charge shattered on both occasions, and Verstappen can learn from the first of those campaigns, in particular to avoid repeating the mistake. If you want to beat a great like Hamilton, you have to stay cool, as Rob Smedley memorably advised Felipe Massa, and it was something Vettel failed to achieve in 2017. Things were going well for the Ferrari driver heading into the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, with him 12 points clear of his nearest challenger in the driver's standings. Even if Hamilton had won, P2 would have been an excellent finish for him, given that lead and the fact that Mercedes was clearly the superior team in Baku, and that's precisely where he was 19 circuits in. Good times! After feeling that the Mercedes driver had brake tested him while running behind the safety car, he lost his mind and pulled alongside and purposefully hit Hamilton. Because Hamilton had to make an extra pit stop to adjust his headrest ahead of him, Vettel incurred a 10-second stop-and-go penalty, which cost him the race. Because of this, the Brit ended in second place, but Vettel only gained 2 points rather than increasing his advantage to 15. And it was all because he became enraged. Hamilton won the championship by 46 points, but a victory for Vettel in Baku could have changed the outcome. With a far more significant gap to overcome, Vettel might have taken more risks and made more mistakes, or he might have played it cautious and made fewer mistakes. In any case, a fit of craziness did a lot of damage to his chances. Is Verstappen, on the other hand, keeping his cool? Well, yes, till the British Grand Prix. He showed flashes of rage after colliding with Hamilton at Silverstone, calling his competitor disrespectful and unsportsmanlike. His anger was far more understandable than Vettel's. After all, he'd just been in a terrible car accident and had to watch the man he believed was to blame celebrate triumph while he was in the hospital. Carrying that rage into the next race and beyond, on the other hand, will only serve to strengthen Hamilton's hand. Instead, he should put the incident behind him and focus on the task at hand, not allowing his emotions to interfere with his performance. Being overly aggressive may result in another crash, and with him dominating the championship race and arguably having the more substantial car, there's no reason to take chances. On that note, Vettel was still the title favorite despite what transpired in Baku. 6 races later, under the lights in Singapore, Vettel truly lost the war. He started from pole and was just 3 points behind Hamilton, and with his competitor back in P5 in a car slower than the Red Bulls and Ferraris, he appeared to be on his way to retaking the championship lead, as long as he kept things clean. Instead, he moved over forcefully at the start to maintain his advantage over Verstappen, forcing both of them and his teammate Remy Raikkonen to retire. With only 6 rounds remaining, Hamilton effectively won the race, extending his championship lead to 28 points. In a nutshell, Vettel's title chances were over. He would have finished on the podium ahead of Hamilton and would have risen to the lead of the Drivers' Championship if he had been a little more cautious at the start. When Verstappen is locked in tight wheel-to-wheel battles this season, he should keep this in mind. As previously said, he has a better car than his championship challenger and stands a solid chance of winning world champion if he avoids any significant incidents. But all of it might alter with a single accident. A perfect scenario is what happened at Silverstone. He had a comfortable lead over Hamilton going into the race, but would he have been better off leaving a little more room at Copse even if it meant losing position? Probably. Giving an inch may go against the Dutchman's instincts and motorsport in general, but if he wants to win this championship, he'll have to think beyond the race he's in. Hamilton has often talked about how understanding that races are a marathon, not a sprint, has helped him achieve so much. Given what happened to Vettel, Verstappen would be advised to take a similar approach if he wants to succeed where the German failed. As the former world champion shared his view on F1's growing clash in 2021, Sebastian Vettel quipped that he would not be delivering advice to Max Verstappen after losing to Lewis Hamilton in previous title battles. While 7-time champion Hamilton is F1's regular title-challenging power, Verstappen, aiming for his first title this year, is in a new situation. In Wednesday's press conference, Vettel, the quadruple champion, was paired alongside the Red Bull driver to take the Dutchman's place as Mercedes' main threat. Vettel and Hamilton last met in 2017-18, when the then Ferrari driver led the standings at the halfway point of both seasons before being overtaken. During the press conference, Vettel was asked whether he had any advice for Verstappen on dealing with Hamilton. He said, "No advice. Obviously I didn't succeed. Lewis beat me, so it's better not to give him any advice. I guess he wants to succeed. It's a long year. There are a lot of races, so I don't know. It doesn't work like this. I'm not giving him any advice." Vettel, who left Ferrari after last year and is now adjusting to a new life and car at Aston Martin, believes the inter-team rivalry is healthy for the sport. "I didn't see a big deal of it because I was quite a long way back in the field. But I think ultimately they are very close in pace, and if you are very close in pace, then you are fighting for the same spot on track more often," said Vettel. Britain's beloved Knight equaled Schumacher's title record last year and is now vying for his 8th title. His arch-rival Verstappen is closing the gap on him, and Vettel is counting on the Dutchman to prevent Hamilton from breaking Michael's record. Vettel applauded Fernando Alonso in Hungary for doing what he felt was impossible. Vettel said, "I think his talent is, without doubt, the skills on track one of the biggest that the sport has seen, and he's done something which I thought was impossible to do, which is beating Michael." He went on to explain why this was such a big deal. "Because when I grew up, it was like, Michael is the number one and impossible to beat, and Fernando started beating him." The German newspaper Bild then asked him to pick his favorite driver for the 2021 Drivers' Championship. In response, Vettel stated, "One thing is clear to me. If Lewis makes it and gets his 8th title, then he deserves full respect. I don't want to commit myself to that. What I only know, I won't do it this year." He signed off by explaining why he wants Max to be crowned champion this year. "I would be happy if Max wins the world title this year. That would mean that Michael Schumacher would keep his record of 7 titles. Michael is my hero, as everyone knows, and that's why I would be happy if Max makes it." On the other hand, Hamilton recognizes that the title race is becoming more complex, as Verstappen is proving to be a more prominent thorn in his side than ever before. Despite this, the number 44 driver believes in himself and thinks he can win the championship. With that, we've come to an end. Do you believe Lewis Hamilton will break his own record this year? Or will Max Verstappen be able to prevent the Mercedes driver from capturing his 8th title, thereby fulfilling Vettel's wish? Let us know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell to stay up to date with more exciting videos. Until we see you with another video, goodbye.